Have you ever been trapped in your own mind, thinking, analyzing, replaying, until even silence feels loud? We call it overthinking, but what it really is a war with yourself, a quiet, endless loop of what ifs, of moments you can't change, and futures you can't control. The Stoics faced the same storms, but they learned to stand in them, to breathe, to see clearly, to act with calm instead of chaos. This isn't about suppressing thoughts. It's about remembering who you are when the noise begins. The Stoics compared the mind to a mist. When the fog is thick, you can't see what's true. You only see what you fear. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." Realize this and you will find strength. The problem isn't the world, it's the way our thoughts color it. When you overthink, you're not solving life. You're fighting shadows your mind created. But when you learn to pause, to breathe, and to separate what's real from what's imagined, the mist begins to clear. And suddenly the world looks simple again. Not easy, but clear. That's the first step of the Stoic way. To see things as they are, not as your thoughts make them seem. Most of our pain doesn't come from the world. It comes from how we think about it. The Stoics believed that the mind creates stories, and those stories often have little to do with reality. A single thought can spiral into a storm. What if I fail becomes I always fail. The mind picks up one drop of fear and paints the whole sky with it. But here's the truth. You are not your thoughts. You are the one who observes them. Imagine your mind as a river, thoughts or leaves drifting by on the surface. Some are dark, some bright, but the river itself remains calm beneath. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself each morning, when you wake up, tell yourself, today you will meet people who are anxious, ungrateful, or arrogant, but they cannot harm your peace unless you let them. When you learn to notice your thoughts instead of becoming them, you reclaim your strength. You don't have to silence the mind, just step back and watch the clouds pass. Every time you do that, you create a little space, and in that space, peace begins to grow. Every time you worry, your mind travels to a place that doesn't exist yet. The Stoics taught that anxiety is the price we pay for living outside the present moment. Seneca wrote, we suffer more in imagination than in reality. Think about it. Most of what keeps you awake at night hasn't even happened. Your mind builds entire stories about things that may never come true. And in doing so, it drains your strength from the only time you can ever act, now. When you catch yourself drifting into what ifs, pause, take a slow breath, and ask, is this within my control? If the answer is no, let it go. If the answer is yes, take a small step right now. That's the Stoic way. Don't try to conquer the future. Just return your energy to what's in front of you. Because the present moment is not just where peace lives, it's also where power begins. The Stoics believe that peace doesn't come from eliminating fear, but from setting limits around it. If you let the mind wander freely, it will build endless scenarios, most of which never happen. Epictetus taught, it's not things that disturb us, but our opinions about things. Worry is like fire. Contained, it gives warmth. Uncontrolled, it burns everything down. So the Stoic creates what we might call a worry boundary. A simple rule. I'll give myself 10 minutes to think about this, and no more. By confining worry to a small space, you keep it from spreading into your entire day. And when those 10 minutes end, you let the thought go. At first, your mind will resist. It will whisper, but what if? Don't argue, just observe. Over time, the habit forms. Your mind learns that it cannot rule you. That's the discipline of a Stoic. Not to suppress emotion, but to guide it. To decide when and how it speaks. Boundaries don't limit freedom. They create it. Overthinking often disguises itself as preparation. We tell ourselves, I'll act when I'm ready. But the truth is, we never truly feel ready. Marcus Aurelius said, waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one. The Stoics knew that clarity comes after action, not before it. When you move even a little, the fog begins to lift. So when your thoughts feel tangled, don't try to solve everything in your head. Break it down. Ask, what's one simple thing I can do right now? It might be as small as sending an email, writing one line, or taking one deep breath before the next task. The goal is not perfection, it's movement, because motion itself is medicine for the mind. Epictetus said, first say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do. Every action, no matter how small, is a way of reminding your mind, I am not my doubts. I am what I choose to do. Do what you can with what you have, where you are, and the path will open as you walk. The mind loves to chase what's missing. It measures what we don't have and forgets the quiet abundance already here. The Stoics practice gratitude not as a moral duty, but as a way to return the mind to reality. Seneca said, he is a wise man who does not grieve for the things which he has not, but rejoices for those which he has. Gratitude is not ignoring pain. It's widening your view to see more than the pain. When you wake up before the noise of the day begins, notice three simple things: the breath that moves, the light through the window, the chance to try again. That's enough, because peace doesn't come from having more. It comes from seeing more clearly. Every time you practice gratitude, you teach the mind to stop searching for what's missing and to rest in what's real. And in that stillness, life feels full again. Not because it changed, but because you did. Everything changes. The Stoics saw this not as tragedy, but as truth, the rhythm of nature itself. Marcus Aurelius wrote, observe constantly that all things take place by change, and accustom yourself to consider that the nature of the universe loves nothing so much as to change. Overthinking often comes from resistance, from wishing that things would stay the same. But nothing ever does. Not the morning light, not the people we love, not even our thoughts. The Stoic learns to see impermanence not as loss, but as movement. Everything that leaves makes space for something new. When a thought feels heavy, remind yourself, this too will pass. Even the most persistent worry is like a wave. It rises, breaks, and disappears into the sea. We can't hold the ocean still. We can only learn to float. Peace begins when you stop demanding permanence from a world that was never meant to be still. Let go gently, and what remains is not emptiness, but calm. The Stoic path was never about escaping life. It was about engaging with it wisely. We can read every book, listen to every teaching, but wisdom means little if it doesn't reach how we live, how we treat others, how we respond when the world is unkind. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself daily, don't explain your philosophy. Embody it. Stoicism isn't found in grand gestures. It's in the smallest moments, in the patience to listen, in the choice to stay calm, in the courage to do what's right, even when no one is watching. You don't have to be perfect, just present, just aware of the space between thought and action. The more you return to that space, the less the world controls you, and the more you begin to shape it with quiet strength. Remember, the goal isn't to feel nothing, but to be unmoved by what doesn't matter. Be still and let life unfold. Not as you wish, but as it is. That's where freedom lives. If you've made it here, take a moment. Just breathe. You've already practiced Stoicism simply by being still, by choosing to listen instead of escape. Remember, peace isn't something you find once. It's something you build moment by moment, thought by thought. Every time you pause before reacting, every time you let go of what you can't control, you're walking the Stoic path. If this message spoke to you, stay with it, reflect on it. And if you wish to keep growing in this calm strength, subscribe so we can keep walking this path together. Because the world doesn't need louder minds, it needs steadier ones. Stay calm, stay clear, and keep walking.